Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. So today we are going to discuss about plants in part 2 session from our science subject. So children, yesterday we were ending our session by talking about adaptation. Okay, adaptation in plants. Like what is it? Like adaptation is nothing but making ourselves convenient or comfortable to live in a particular place or a climatical conditions. Okay, so we'll just discuss about some plants, like how they get adapted themselves to live. Okay, now what about lotus plant? So lotus plant, it has got fixed plant. It is a fixed plant which have long hollow stem to provide support and broad leaves to provide buoyancy. So how lotus plant is able to live? Lotus plant is an aquatic plant, children. It lives in water. No, everybody know that. So it is fixed plant. It is a fixed plant. As we learned, in aquatic plant there were floating plants, there were submerged plant, even they have fixed plants also. So lotus plant comes under fixed plant. Okay, and how is this? So this has got a long hollow stem. Long hollow, it is like empty, it doesn't have any weight. No, the stem is very light, in the sense it is not having any weight. And what does this do? It is going to provide the support to the plant, and it has broad leaves also, and even they are also light in weight. So why it is structured like this? Because to provide buoyancy. And what is buoyancy, children? It is the force that causes object to float. Okay, how when this lower body is light in weight, so normally what happens? So it comes up. Now when you put something in the water, if it has got much weight, so it is going to dump in the water. It stays inside the water. No, suppose if you put any lightweight object in the water, so what will happen? It's going to float on the surface of the water because of the light weight. So here if you see, the stems of the lotus plant are lightweight in weight, and because of this broad leaves, so they have got more weight than the stem. Leaves have got more weight than the stem. Because of that, so this plant is able to fix in the water, and the leaves and the flowers are able to float above the water surface. And it is why we call it as fixed plant, because this hollow stem is going to fix inside the water in the soil. Okay, only the leaves and the flowers are visible above the soil. So this is how this plant is adapted to live in water. Okay children, clear? Buoyancy is nothing but like the force which it makes the object to float. Okay, so when something is light, it comes above the water, on the surface of the water. Okay, if something is weighted, then it goes inside the water. So that is buoyancy. Now we'll see about marshy plants. Marshy plants, that is mangroves. So how are they? Like as we seen before, like these have got breathing roots, no children? So they have got breathing roots. Marshy plants have air breathing roots to absorb nutrients from the air. Why they are having breathing roots? To absorb the nutrients from the air. No, so whatever nutrients are available in the atmosphere, in the air, so they are going to absorb them through these roots, so that the plant lives in such area, that is wet area. Clear children? Now we'll see about water hyacinth, children. So what is water hyacinth? It is a floating plant, and floating plants have long stem and broad leaves that are buoyant. In the sense, long stem, why do they have long stem? To give the support to the plant, and even the stem is hollow, that is, it is light in weight, and they have got broad leaves. The leaves have got little weight than the stem, so that this force can make the plant to float on the water surface. Okay children, so water hyacinth is a floating plant. So this is how these plants get adapted themselves to these particular areas. Now we'll see about the remaining plants, that is about reproduction. So reproduction in plants. So how is the reproduction taken in a plant? So reproduction is also taken in so many ways. Okay, so like we'll discuss it like how. So reproduction is the process of producing offspring of its own kind. So what is offspring, children? Offspring is nothing but the young ones which are born to that particular or living organism. Okay, it may be animal, human being, or a plant, any living organism. Okay, so reproduction is nothing but giving birth to the young ones of their own kind, in the sense, for example, here an apple tree can produce another apple tree only, but it can't produce mango tree. No, obviously. So, a plant can produce its own kind. No, apple tree can give only another apple tree, can give birth to another apple tree, not for a mango tree. Rose plant also can give birth to rose plant only, not for a jasmine plant. So, like that, it gives birth to its own kind. And in plant, reproduction occur by two ways. So children, as I said, reproduction again is of different ways. Plants take reproduction in different ways. So mainly they are of two ways. So what are they? The sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction in the sense where male and female parts are going to give birth to a plant. So flower is the main reproductive organ. So in this sexual reproduction, so flower is the main reproductive organ. So where this process goes on is in the flower. So as we have got ovary in the flower, so we have got anther and so many male and female parts in flower. Because of this sexual reproduction is taking place in this part, that is flower. So this is why it is the main reproductive organ. Okay children, and this is the sexual reproduction. Okay, and now asexual reproduction. What is asexual reproduction? So here we do not have like male and female parts or flower. No need of necessity of male and female parts of a flower. And how this asexual reproduction takes place? So this is like vegetative reproduction is a type of asexual reproduction in which new plant is generated from the vegetative part of the plants, that is stem, roots, leaves, etc. See here? So here we don't need the flower. So the plant is going to give birth to some other plants through stems, roots and leaves. Okay children, and this is vegetative reproduction. So vegetative in the sense most of the vegetables, most of the vegetable plants go through this type of reproduction process. Okay children, clear? Now we'll see how are they. Vegetative reproduction by stem. So we'll see about the stem, how it is going to participate in this reproduction process. The first one is runners. So runners children here. So stems which run horizontally parallel to the ground. So new roots emerge from the nodes, thus gives rise to new plants. For example, lawn grass, strawberries, etc. So if you see in the picture here children, so these stems, these are the stems, no? So this is the picture of a strawberry plant here, and these plant stems, they run horizontally parallel to the ground. See, this is the stem which is running parallel to the ground. And when this happens, so new roots from the stem, they start growing from the nodes. In the sense, like what, like even nodes are like leaves, from which leaves, branches, roots grow from the stem. So that we call it as nodes. Okay, so they start growing from this stem and they give rise to the new plant. See, here the stem is running, here we have got a plant, again it is running to the ground, on the ground. So again roots have been developed, again a new plant, and again it is continued by giving birth to the another plant. Okay, like lawn grass, and strawberries, etc. belong to such type of vegetative reproduction by stem. We call them as runners. We call them as runners. Clear, children? So this is how reproduction, in the sense giving birth to another plant, is going on through this stem in runners. Okay, children? Now suckers. What are suckers? Okay, and suckers are, so the reproduction is very similar to the runners but have shorter internodes. Example, mints, chrysanthemum, and etc. So what happens, it is also same like runner only, like it also go along with the ground, but it has got shorter internodes. Internodes in the sense, children, nothing but where leaves grow from, branches, roots grow from the stem, that is, but it has got shorter nodes when compared to runners. Like here, if you see here, this is the mint leaf plant in the picture here. This is the mint leaves plant. Okay, so here if you see, so the leaves and the stem is above the soil, and so again here by touching the ground, so again a new plant is arised by the help of the stem again, but only thing is they have got shorter internodes. Clear, children? And chrysanthemum also. Chrysanthemum plant also, if you plant a single plant in a pot, or so it just spreads in the pot by giving new plants. Okay, children, by just occupying the space in the soil, it develops its roots and gives birth to the same kind of plant in the pot area. Okay, so these are called as suckers. Now we'll see the other plants. Vegetative propagation. It is vegetative propagation. So it has underground nodes and internodes. Okay, and axillary buds are present on the nodes which develop into new plants on getting favorable conditions. For example, ginger. What is this rhizome? Rhizome is which sends out roots and shoots from its nodes. Okay, like we have ginger. If you plant ginger as it is in the soil, children, what happens? You will get new plant from the ginger. No, so you will get new leaves and it starts growing. No, so that type of plants are called as rhizome. So it has underground nodes. That what we said, that we'll plant that vegetable inside the soil. It has underground nodes and internodes. And axillary buds. Axillary buds in the sense what? Located in the axil of the leaf. Axil of the leaf in the sense what, children? Like just from a new branch or a new plant. See here. Have you seen here in the picture? So this is the picture of the ginger here. Okay. So these are the nodes. These are the nodes here. And if you see here, this is the axillary bud. This is the green color. Are you able to see here? Okay, this is the axillary bud where it is starting from the in the axil of a leaf. Okay, and which develop into new plants on getting favorable conditions, like if they have a proper soil, proper water, and proper climatical condition, that new plant starts growing from this vegetable. Okay, for example, ginger. So these type of plants are called as rhizomes. Okay, children. Now we'll see about the tuber. Tuber. And what is a tuber? Potato. Potato is a tuber that has bud which is capable of producing new plant. So see here the picture of a potato. No, it is a tuber that has bud. It has got a bud which is capable of producing a new plant. See here children here. Can you see the buds here? Which is grown on the potato. So if you want to experiment this ginger, you can just dig this ginger in soil and you can see these new plants how they grow. Even potato also you can just put it in water, like half portion of potato you can put it in water and half must be above the surface of the water. For some days you start seeing new buds growing on the potato. Okay, so then you can just plant it in the soil. Then you can have a new plant. So this you can experiment at your homes. Clear children? So this type of plant is called as tuber. So this is a tuber. Clear? Now about vegetable propagation in this corn. Corm. So corm is a condensed form of rhizome which is formed vertically in the ground. A single corm develops new plant, example colocasia. So what is a corm children? It is a condensed form of rhizome. So condensed is nothing but like it's making a thickness. Okay, so corm is a condensed form of rhizome. So what we learned of rhizome? So rhizome like ginger. No, we gave an example of a ginger. Okay, so where you can see the growth of the plant, new plant from the nodes. Okay, and here this is formed vertically in the ground. Okay, it is formed vertically in the ground and a single corm develops new plant. For example, colocasia. See, if you see in the picture here children, so this plant is an example for corm where this is the node, and from this node if you see again you have got an internode, you have got a scale leaf here. Okay, and so you are seeing roots coming growing from these nodes. Okay, and the new plant starting getting grown from the same node. So this is how the corm is. Okay children, now bulbs. So what are bulbs? So a type of plants which has bulbs for the storage of food for helping them in non-favorable condition. So the bud in the plants grows into new plants, for example onion, lily, etc. How are these bulbs? They are a type of plants which have bulbs here. So in the sense this is the parent bulb. So have you seen onion, even garlic? No, you might have seen. So this is the parent bulb. Okay, and for such vegetables, and from that bulbs again new bulbs are grown. New bulbs are grown. Okay, a type of plant which has bulbs for the storage of food. So they are going to store the food in themselves for helping them in non-favorable conditions. Here when we say non-favorable condition is about the climatical conditions children. So like water loss, heat and all these. Okay, so when these type of non-favorable conditions are there in the climate, then this type of plants they store food. Okay, this type of plants, that is themselves in the bulbs. Okay, and this bud is going to grow into new plants. So for example onion, lily and all such type of, even garlic, this all come under bulbs. Clear children? Now we'll see the other slide. So it is about leaf and roots, reproduction by leaf and roots. Now until now we learnt about the stem, reproduction by stem. Now it is about leaf and roots. So adventitious buds. So buds present on the margin of the leaves which develop into new plants on getting the favorable condition. So what happens if you see here children, this is the leaf, picture of the leaf. Even this leaf is also giving a new plant. See how? To the margins of the leaves here, to the edges of the leaves here, Okay, when it has got a favorable condition, that is a proper sunlight, proper water, proper air, then in some plants even the leaf starts giving birth to another plant. See here, have you observed? And even here there are roots here. Okay, these are called as adventitious birds. Adventitious birds. Okay, children, these type of plants also give a reproduction through their leaves. So this is how you are also having adventitious roots. Okay, and vegetative reproduction in a plant is the asexual reproduction. Okay, so what we learnt is reproduction is of two types. One is sexual and the other one is asexual. This type of vegetative reproduction is the asexual reproduction. Why? Because it is not using the male or female organs or the parts of the flower. So it is just using the parts of the plant like stem, roots, leaf and all that. Okay. And tuberous roots of sweet potato and dahlia, when get detached from the plant, grow into new plant. So what are these? Tuberous roots like sweet potato. If you see here in the picture, this is like of sweet potato. Okay, so what happens when these sweet potato type of tuberous plant, they get detached from the plant, in the sense when they are separated from the plant and they give a new plant. Here if you see, so these are the roots, these are the adventitious roots here, and you can see here there is a new plant growing here. No, so this is how these tubers also give birth to the new plant. Even dahlia also, dahlia children with the beautiful flowers in different color flowers, it is available. Even this plant also, it gets reproduction in the same way. Okay, so the plant gives birth to another plant in this procedure. Clear? Now we'll see the vegetative reproduction by leaf and roots. No, until now we learned about how the stem and the nodes are going to reproduce. Now here it is through leaf and roots. How did we learn that? We are having adventitious birds. Adventitious birds means what? Which are present on the margin of leaves here. See in the picture as I explained you. So these are on the margin of the leaves and which develops into a new plant. Okay, and what are adventitious roots, children? So this in reproduction in a plant is the asexual reproduction, and tuberous roots of sweet potato and dahlia, when get detached from the plant, grow into the new plant. Suppose when this vegetable, maybe a sweet potato, when dahlia, that is a flower. Okay, so these get separated from the plant, even then the plant grows into a new plant. Okay, when we give a favorable conditions for them to grow, it takes in birth into a new plant from that particular plant. Okay, children, so this was about the reproduction and the adaptation of plants, what we have learnt. Children, before concluding, let us just revise like what we have learned in today's session. So we learnt about the adaptations in plants, like making themselves comfortable to live in certain place or climatical conditions. Like for example, what we said, that lotus plant is a fixed plant and it has a long hollow stem to provide support and broad leaves to provide buoyancy. Like buoyancy is where the force is able to make it float in the water or on the surface of the water. So because of this long stem, so lotus plant is able to be fixed in the water. Okay, like mangroves, they are having breathing roots. Because of that, they are absorbing the air and getting the nutrients. Okay, children, and water hyacinth, it is a floating plant and it has got a long stem and broad leaves, again to make itself convenient to float in the water. and we also learnt about the reproduction in plant. No? So reproduction, the plant takes in many ways. No, so mainly through sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction, mainly of two types, that is sexual and asexual. And in sexual reproduction, so flower plays a very important role. So flower is the main reproductive organ because it has ovary and it has anther, and here the pollination take place. So because of that, flower is a sexual reproductive organ. And asexual reproduction, so this is the vegetative reproduction, like the parts of plants, they take place in reproductive system, they take part in the reproduction, like from stems, roots, leaves, and all these parts. Okay, from that parts, so other plants take birth. Okay, this is asexual reproduction. And again here we can see different type of plants, like runners. So like runners are what, children? So stems which run horizontally parallel to the ground. Okay, what are suckers? Again here they are reproductive, even they are similar to runners, but they have got shorter internodes. Okay, node is nothing but like where again a new plant is going to take birth, maybe from a leaf, root, stem, branch, in any other part of the plant. Okay, children, so nodes are those. So here the suckers and runners. So again, rhizome. So what is rhizome here? So it has underground nodes and internodes. So for here we have given an example of a ginger. So you can observe in the picture like how it is giving birth to another plant here. So this has got nodes and internodes, and here the axillary buds are present on the nodes, which develops into new plants when they get favorable conditions. Like when the plant gets favorable conditions, what happens? The axillary buds here, the axillary buds are going to develop into new plants. Like favorable conditions in the sense like proper sunlight, proper air and water. Okay, and tuber. So tuber here, for example, our potato. So potato, it is a tuber, and that has got buds. See green color here in the picture if you can observe. So these are buds, and these are capable in producing a new plant. Clear, children? Now, so about corm. Corm, what is corm? Corm is a condensed form of rhizome. So same like rhizome, so even corm is a condensed form, okay, hard substance. So which is formed vertically in the ground, and a single corm develops new plant. See, a single corm, it develops a new plant. See here, this is the corm, and here every single corm here, it is going to develop into a new plant. And what is a bulb, children? For example, like onion, garlic, all these are bulbs. Okay, and a type of plants which has bulbs for the storage of food. So these bulbs are going to store food among itself, and this is going to help them in the non-favorable conditions. Like non-favorable conditions means if they not get proper sunlight, no water resources, okay, no proper air. Suppose the climate is very hot, okay, from all these, so they are going to protect, and the bud in the plants grows into new plants. For example, onion, lily, and so on. So children, so this was for today, children. We'll continue in tomorrow's session. So take care, stay well, and thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.